Richard, one potential issue is the transaction speed.
Right. Once we get enough users, my algorithm will...
Wait, what? Users? No, hold on. Wait, let me call you back, dude. No, see,
what?
The thing is, why would you want actual users?
Because to make the coin useful?
No. If you have users, people start asking how many, and it'll never be enough. First, you have to compete with Stripe, then PayPal, then Visa. But if you have no practical use cases, you can say you have potential use cases. A sleeping giant, great team, promising future. No one's using Bitcoin, and yet it's top one. Now, forget the adoption. Go.
Right. So, yeah, I just thought the idea was to make an actual currency.
No. I don't want to buy some stuff with your money later. I want to buy a shitload of stuff with real money now. I want a Lambo, vroom, vroom, to the moon. DD. You know what that is?
Due diligence?
No. Decentralized dogs. That's the future. What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Wednesday. If we have a look, we're seeing there is a little bit of loss across the boards. It's nothing too major. We had about a $5 billion hit overnight. Bitcoin dominance went up like 1%, came back down. We're sitting around $6,520 for Bitcoin, only taking a 0.65% hit. Obviously, some of the altcoins are getting hit a little bit harder, but it's not really that bad of a day in crypto. If we have a look at the chart, we are exactly where we've pretty much been, straight on target. And if we look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Noah Coin up 37%. We also have Archain, Sia Coin, Binance, Hypercash, Elastos, Kryptonics, Metaverse, ETP, and Bitcoin Diamond also making their way to the top gainers of the day, although not by much. Most of them barely scraping, 5% for the day. So I wanted to talk about this. Oh no, October 3rd, which is very fitting for today. This article basically goes to discuss Pigeon Coin. You may be familiar with it. No, you're not? Neither am I. That's not the point. Anyway, Pigeon Coin has had a 235 million Pigeon Coin hacked recently. Now, it's only $15,000, no big deal. But the point that I want to make is that the burglars exploited the software vulnerability in Pigeon Coin's code resembling the one recently patched on the Bitcoin network. So that vulnerability in both cases allows hackers to infiltrate the coin supply past its hard cap. Crucially, this was possible because Pigeon Coin, like a host of other altcoins, are built on Bitcoin's old code. The concern then is that the next attack will be on a Bitcoin-based network with a heftier market cap. So that's something that we need to be careful with. And if there's any developers out there that are working on any type of UTXO or whatever, anything based off of Bitcoin, and you're using that old code, you might want to upgrade because now the cat's out of the bag and everybody knows what's going on. So I just wanted to just kind of bring that to the attention of everybody. I also wanted to talk about this article talking about the decline in Bitcoin searches is a positive sign for cryptocurrency. So it basically goes on to talk about how Google trends are down 60% since 2018 in searches for Bitcoin, which is kind of ironic because Bitcoin itself is down roughly 60 plus around that percent. So really strange how they are so similar. Then it says people are searching less for Bitcoin. Not just that, but they're also buying less crypto-related products. For example, NVIDIA graphics card sales plummeted from 289 million to about 18 million between the first and second quarter. That's crazy. Also, trading volume has decreased, right? Also, Coinbase has shrunk by 83% as well. So the thing that they bring up is that though the great, get rich quick mentality lingers on, I mean, obviously some of us still trying to get those gains, right? It's far less pervasive in the cryptocurrency market than it was 12 months ago. They say that's a good thing. If cryptocurrency is the currency of the future, the market for it can't be populated almost exclusively by people who are only in it for the short term. If you guys came out to the live stream last night, that was one of the topics we were talking about. We were saying, you had all these people come in, especially the scammers and these guys that were just like, yeah, we could raise an ICO, and, all these retail people buying at 20K. And I think that there were a lot of lessons to be learned. I don't think that we'll make the same mistake again, buying into these crappy, scammy ICOs, being a lot smarter with the way that we buy, sell, trade, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the people that actually remain in the space currently, especially the developers, they're the people that actually want to be here. They're not the people that just came in just to speculate, make some money, and get out, right? So it's a good thing in the sense that now the hardcore tech and teams are really going to shine moving forward. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that real quick. Now let's discuss what's been happening. Obviously, there was the Swell conference. That's what everyone was talking about. So on the second day, Ripple unveiled a report on blockchain in payments. So recent data collected by the Boston Consulting Group showed that the volume of cross-border payments in the global market was 27 trillion. The data further stated that the volume could grow by another 20 trillion between 2018 to 2026. This would mean that the cross-border payment market would be worth around $47 trillion by 2026. So Corey Johnson, Ripple's chief market strategist, said, "The world is used to getting things right now on demand. They aren't waiting for anything." That's very true. We are extremely impatient. Even now, when Moon, when Binance, think about it in crypto, you just want your coin to just go up the next day. So this is not really related directly to Ripple, but it does put into perspective the demand and the need for this type of an industry growing forward. And it's definitely going to be of high demand. So it's interesting to see. Will it be XRP? Will it be Nano? We'll see, right? We'll see moving forward. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, Corey Johnson also spoke during a discussion called Survey Says. And he had this to say. He said, "What we're really seeing is we are right on the cusp of mass adoption based on our survey results. We talk to people who are making decisions about what they're going to do, who are really actively looking for this technology, and this mass adoption, the tipping point for this mass adoption, we're right on the cusp of that right now." So Corey feels that we are on that tipping point. We're just back and forth waiting for that catalyst to blast off. And even when you look at things like this, here's a nice tweet from Katie Cat. It says, "Hey, PayPal and Elon Musk, I just spent 20 minutes on the phone to pay a 26-cent debt I apparently owed due to a currency conversion error. My account was locked with no explanation, no emails, and now I have to wait 4 to 6 business days to be able to pay someone. Makes me want to use Bitcoin instead." So even though the traditional system is great, it works, there are still a lot of problems. Like, for example, this woman who got locked out of her own account for 4 to 6 business days. I've been in similar situations. I've been in other countries, had issues happen with my card, couldn't get my money, couldn't get the money that was mine that I put in the bank. I couldn't access it because of complications. Now, a lot of times they say, well, we're here to protect you, all these different fraud prevention services, but sometimes it does backfire and it is a pain in the ass. So just wanted to point that out. Those are some reasons why we may need it moving forward. And here is the other thing. Financial institutions have already started accumulating Bitcoins far from the public eye. We spoke about this, I think about a month ago we were discussing this, the over-the-counter game and what they're doing basically. So institutional investors are at the forefront of trading in cryptocurrencies according to a report that was published yesterday. So these investors who are in some case, they represent hedge funds, have displaced individuals with greater purchasing power as the biggest Bitcoin buyers after making private transactions, some of them as large as $100 million in the OTC market. So this report was published by Bloomberg and contains the conclusion reached by some specialists. So the report indicates that cryptocurrency markets have become more attractive for these institutional investors in recent months, despite the bear market. The reason for this has been the reduction of volatility in the price of cryptocurrencies, especially now that we've been sitting between that 6,000, 7,000 range for quite some time now. I heard some people actually joking, saying, hey, I found a new stable coin. It's Bitcoin. Sits right at the 6,500 level. So anyway, according to research from the Digital Asset Research and Tab Group, the OTC market had between $250 million and $30 billion in daily operations in just April alone. So in addition, large buyers and sellers are more attracted to private transactions because these operations and exchange houses can influence the price of cryptocurrencies buying on market. That's another thing we were talking about last night, about joking about being a whale in a low liquidity DEX when you're trying to buy and sell, even if you're just moving like a couple $1,000s or something on these super low liquidity markets. A person like myself can have a dent, So imagine these guys buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. they're going to have an effect as well. They don't really want to create that stir. So they have been accumulating this in the background. Another reason that makes the over-the-counter market so attractive is that exchange platforms could not offer as much coins as some institutional investors would like to buy. This would cause more brokerage firms to emerge to help balance the market. So long story short, they're interested, they're accumulating, they're coming, but at the same time, they're already here. So let's just put that to rest. Moving on, we have some more news. We have J. Christopher Giancarlo, the chairman of the CFTC. And this was on a recent CNBC appearance, and he said, quote, "I personally think that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. I think that there is a future for them. I'm not sure they ever come to rival the dollar or other hard currencies, but there's a whole section of the world that really is hungry for functioning currencies that can't find in their local currencies, that they can't find in their local currencies. There's 140 countries in the world. Every one of them has a currency. Probably 2/3 are not worth the polymer or the paper they're written on, and those parts of the world rely on hard currencies. Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies may solve some of the problems." Now, I actually had right here, there was Maduro, the president of Venezuela. Now he's talking. If you have Bitcoins, you could buy Petros. If you have Ethereum, you could buy Petros. If you have dollars or euros, you could buy Petros. But the question is, if you have Bitcoin, why would you want to buy a peso? Or a Petro, I'm sorry, a Petro. I don't know, just kind of funny. Made me kind of think about that. But, you know, the interesting thing is, after all of this, you still do have projects that are surviving quite well in the ICO market. Ontology still up 9.6x USD, although we don't have the data on that, percent for sale in hard cap. Zilliqa, Holochain, QuarkChain, Odom, IoTeX, Mainframe, TomoChain, Loom Network, and IOST. Now, a lot of these did have private sales that people couldn't get into. But yeah, I mean, for those that got in early, they made some money. For people that bought aftermarket, not so lucky. But once again, I think that, well, not so much for Ontology and Zilliqa and Holo, but I think that it was lesson learned, and we had a lot of United States citizens pissed off that they couldn't get involved in ICOs, but it kind of turned out to be a blessing in the long run, don't you guys think? So that is an interesting thing to point moving forward. But yeah, I think this time we're going to be a lot smarter about investing. We're not going to immediately rush into coins that get listed on exchanges. People know that they generally tend to have a pump and then a dump, and then they kind of flatten out. So I think that even the retail investors have gotten a little more intelligent moving forward. Now, let's talk about some coin news, guys. So we have Binance again to open a security token trading platform in Malta. So this news originally came out of the partnership via a press conference directly following the signing of a memorandum of understanding. So Malta today reported that in discussion the agreement, Malta's finance minister called blockchain revolutionary. He went as far as to say Malta would be crazy not to increase their stance in the crypto space. Security tokens, they're going to be big. We're going to have to do some deep dives into those moving forward as well. We also have NEM. So according to the recent report, they have partnered with Livin, an Australian-based payment platform which rewards its users for their loyalty when they visit partner restaurants and pay through the Livin app. I don't know if it's Livin or Livin. I've never heard of it before, so whatever. So anyway, the digital currency is the LVN coin, and it allows Australian users to pay with the cryptocurrency across 1,000 restaurants through the network. So the creators of Nem.io will be working with them to integrate the Nem token as well as the LVN coin. The report stated that the apostille function of the NEM blockchain will be utilized to ensure Livin's transparency and integrity. Furthermore, the apostille function will be used to validate the analytics provided to the merchant. So that's just more adoption as well from NEM. We also have this video that came out from Icon. It's called Inside the Icon Project. And essentially, it's basically just some Icon members talking about the beginning, the present, and the vision of the Icon project. So you can check it out and scroll through here, see what's going on. They obviously have English subtitles because it's clearly in Korean. Also, thought we were done with Ripple XRP. Nope, we have one more article. So this is the CEO Brad Garlinghouse once again responding to allocations of it being a centralized currency. Apparently, he was pretty aggressive this time. I guess he's getting frustrated with constantly being asked this, and he said XRP is fully decentralized. He pointed out that even as the CEO of Ripple, he himself cannot control the XRP ledger nor affect transactions. He believes that this statement alone proves how decentralized the XRP token really is. He also talked about the irony of calling XRP centralized, as he believes that Bitcoin is becoming more centralized by the minute, and how over half of hacking attempts launched on crypto are on Bitcoin. He also stated that there are 3 Chinese-based miners that control a vast majority of the Bitcoin blockchain. This is very true. We've discussed that a lot as well. So it's very interesting. I mean, like I said, I'd like to do more of that deep dive. We were discussing last night about freeze functions, backdoors, kind of like what you could do with the Gemini dollar, how they could just freeze it. So yeah, we have to look into that a little bit more, but it's just interesting when you think about them. I mean, there really are 3 big miners pretty much controlling most of Bitcoin. So, but then again, why would they, like when you talk about 51% of tax, there wouldn't be an incentive. It would cost so much money, but I get it from a point of control, could be. Also, Trudia.org, I just stumbled upon this. Literally, people are talking about how news articles are fake and fake news and this and that. So they say that basically, their mission is to enable trustworthy news and content. So I tried it, but it looks like it takes a really long time. So for example, if I was to take this Pigeon Coin article and come over here, you would paste it, validate, and then it says validation in progress, leave your email below and we'll get back to you. So I've tried it twice, but I never really wanted to wait for the results. So you could see if this works. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it after, make another video on it, but it was really interesting moving forward. I also wanted to talk about Coinbase is working on an investment agreement with Tiger Global Capital, thus valuing the cryptocurrency exchange for approximately $8 billion, according to CNBC. This will indicate that the deal would undoubtedly be one of the highest valued startups in the United States history. That's possible. It's possible. Also, scientists from IBM Research claim to have found a way to reshape and combine blockchain architecture, including proof of work, arriving at what they call in a paper a sweet spot for energy efficiency, scalability, and security. So essentially, they're saying that Bitcoin's proof of work can be made more efficient. Their discovery stems from applying proof of work to a very different use case, IoT, or Internet of Things, and would run blockchain nodes inside of connected devices. Now, the IoT networks are quite huge. It can range from anything from, pocket-sized temperature sensors to internet-connected automobiles. So it's a very, very broad spectrum of IoT. But as such, all or some of the devices in an IoT network might not be able to solve very complex proof-of-work puzzles, hence the impetus to make proof-of-work energy efficient. According to IBM researchers' paper, efficiency in IoT can be defined as an optimal utilization of hardware, resources, and energy. Therefore, in order to achieve that, the IoT devices on the blockchain should optimally utilize resource and energy to maintain and progress the blockchain. Moving on, I saw this article. It's 5 tech trends content creators need to pay attention to. Why am I bringing this up? 1, I'm a content creator, so I was interested in the article. This is on entrepreneur.com. So I'm casually scrolling down, and all of a sudden, they have augmented virtual reality, AI driven discovery, machine-generated content, sharing economy. But number 1 is decentralized distribution platforms. And lo and behold, who do we have here? Tron. So Tron is in entrepreneur.com, and they are saying that this is one of the things to keep an eye on moving forward. So they're working on building better global infrastructure. Tron has recently partnered with BitTorrent. We already know this. The effort, dubbed Project Atlas, will incentivize users for acting as seeds, who are peers who help host and distribute content. I mean, we already know this, but I thought it was interesting to see how Tron is getting into these types of articles, how we're really breaking that barrier. We're breaking just being in this tiny little crypto bubble to actually being spoken and talked about in other places as well. And if that doesn't make you happy, check out Coincast TV over here. So they did a little thing where they did the ABCs of cryptocurrencies. And it's pretty funny. So they go on, they have all these different things. So let's see, they have hard fork, HODL, pump and dump, unicorn, Okay, so you could get Moon. So definitely check this out. I thought that was a fun video. And that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are freaking amazing. Seriously, your support means so much. You're the reason that I do this every single day. Thank you again for stopping by. If you guys haven't checked out the newsletter below, definitely get involved. If you haven't joined the Telegram chat and you want to get into a community of like-minded people, you can do that as well. Or you could just simply come back tomorrow and enjoy another video, and I really, really appreciate that you do. So that being said, my name's K-Dub, this is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.